Assembly Hall in Champaign, Sports Channel presents the finals of the 55th Annual Illinois High School Association Wrestling Championships. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom Stalker as Sports Channel brings you its continuing coverage of IHSA state championship events. 468 wrestlers began final action this weekend. We're down to the final 52 as we will crown champions on 13 weight classes on both the A and AA level. Once again, joining us, our expert analyst, Rob Sherrill. And last year, the underclassmen took center stage. So I suppose you would think that this year is the year of the senior.
The underclassmen dominated last year. This year, they're seniors, and they are dominating again. There are a lot of us that said if this wasn't a great state tournament, there never would be one. We've got 8 defending champions in the AA finals, 3 in the A finals. It's going to be a great final round.
2 of those defending champions are brothers, the Williams brothers from Mount Carmel, Steve and Joe. And the question is, Rob, can they do it again this year?
Oh, I think they can. It would be quite an upset if either of them lost. They've left quite a mark on Mount Carmel and state wrestling. They're both looking very, very good in this tournament. Steve had a couple very tough matches. Joe's just been the usual Joe Williams, and I think they'll both repeat.
Meanwhile, at 160 pounds tonight in AA, it'll look like a rematch of last year's 152-pound finals, because it is John Kading of Glenbard South and Javon Herman both going at it again for the state title.
Well, they met in the sectional final. This is their match at 152 last year. Kading scoring one of the takedowns that helped him win the match. Herman's got another chance this year, and we'll see if he can turn the tables.
Meanwhile, at 171 pounds tonight on the AA level, Lake Zurich's Al Strobel will get his share of the spotlight tonight because he's got quite a streak going.
88 matches in a row going into this tournament, 88 wins in a row. That's a 4th on the all-time state list. Al Strobel's the kind of wrestler just kind of goes about his business, isn't as flashy as some of the others, but he's outstanding, and I think he'll make it number 89.
Meanwhile, in the Class A level, we're about to see history perhaps made tonight. Mike Mena of Sterling Newman going for his 4th state championship and trying to cap off something that may have never been done in IHSA history, an undefeated career.
Only 2 other wrestlers have won 4 state titles. As Tom just said, nobody has gone through a high school career unbeaten as far as we know. And Mike Mena, I think, will become the first.
Meanwhile, at 119 pounds, Sandwich Trevor Elliott is back to defend his title. Last year, he not only won an individual, he led Sandwich to the team championship. He's trying for an encore this year.
Whether it's for the individual or the team, Trevor Elliott has been at his best in a Sandwich uniform. I think he's going to make it 3 in a row.
All right, sit back and enjoy our coverage of the state finals from the Assembly Hall. Our first match is at 103 pounds. Back with that after this timeout on Sports Channel. Pounds, Lindsey Durlacher ranked number 2 so far this year, 39-0-1 against Corey Frazier. Somewhat of a surprise from Proviso East. He's 33-3. He's a junior.
You know, we mentioned before on the start of the broadcast that we have 8 defending champions in Class AA in this tournament, and that you'll see tonight. Well, in a lot of respects, Lindsey Durlacher is really the 9th. Last year, he attended school at an independent school in the state of Wisconsin, Wayland Academy, as he gets the first 2 points and more.
And he does get 2 points in the near fall.
Durlacher won the private school league title in Wisconsin last year, and he's really going for his 2nd state title. This is just his first in Illinois if he wins.
Last year he was 39-0 at Wayland Academy in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, winning that independent school title in that state. Was ranked in the preseason number 2 and is currently again ranked number 2.
Durlacher with the quick 4-0 lead on that takedown and 2 near fall points, and that happened because he was able to expose Frazier's shoulders within the 45-degree angle for at least 2 seconds, and now he's got more. No, he didn't get the 2 count, and now Frazier gets the reversal. It's 4-2.
Frazier from that solid program of Proviso East, dual team champions in AA last year under Coach Bill Cartwright.
A rebuilding year for Proviso East, but Frazier since he came down from 112 pounds, has had an outstanding run of it, won the sectional, and here he is in the state final.
"17 seconds left to go in the first of 3 periods. You have 3 2-minute periods to wrestle. And again, the objective is to pin your opponent to the mat. There is overtime. There is sudden death.
Now, if you're Durlacher, you have one problem, and that is you have to overcome the size advantage that Corey Frazier has in this match. He was able to strike quickly with the 4-point move, but now Frazier on top with the advantage. And there's a roll, and he'll get an escape right before the end of the period.
So a 5-2 lead for Lindsey Durlacher after 1 period. They're at 103 pounds in AA. 2 points separating as instructions given both wrestlers before they start the 3rd period. Frazier looked back to Bill Cartwright to see whether or not he might want to give away the escape. But no, he is on top with control as we're underway in the 3rd period.
Well, this is where Frazier could best use his size advantage, is on the mat, trying to turn Durlacher. Difficult to get off the bottom against a bigger opponent like this. Frazier trying to lock up a cradle. There's a stalling warning against Durlacher on the bottom. Now he stands up. Frazier breaks it back down.
You've got to force the issue. You've got to wrestle. You can't coast when you have the lead.
Frazier with that tight waist trying to turn it. If you're on the bottom, you have to try and keep getting out. And of course, if you're on the top, you have to keep trying to work to turn your man to his back. And if in the judgment of the official you're not doing either, then it's a stalling warning. 4 points.
Under a minute as they're out of the circle with 53 seconds to go in the period.
We mentioned Ed Booty was the head official in this match. He's the one making the calls.
It is 5-3 in favor of Lindsey Durlacher of Buffalo Grove, wrestling Corey Frazier of Proviso East. Frazier with control as they restart.
2 referees are used in each state tournament match. Dave Matthews is the assistant referee. He serves as a second set of eyes and ears for the head referee, who of course is the one that makes all the calls.
29 seconds to go. And that's a dangerous position. Dangerous hold, so they'll stop the action with 27 seconds remaining in the final period here at AA, 103 pounds at the Assembly Hall. You saw Frazier make that diamond shape, and there he's going to let him escape. He lets him escape control, and Durlacher picks up a point and now leads 6-3.
That's an indication that Frazier is going to use the optional international style start. Now Frazier coming to the side, and that's a takedown.
He trails 6-5.
Almost had near fall points. He's trying to lock up a far side cradle.
But only 6 seconds remain. 3 seconds. And as it turned out, Rob, the point he gave away on the escape is the difference. As Lindsey Durlacher of Buffalo Grove wins the title at 103 pounds in AA, winning 6-5. Ranked number 2, and he'll come away number 1.
Frazier had him where he wanted him right at the end. He got the takedown, couldn't quite lock up the cradle to try to get the winning near fall points. And Lindsey Durlacher is a state champion. A 2-time state champion, but his first in Illinois.
Let's see if we can quickly take a look at a few moments from Class A 103 pounds. That featuring Ryan Metcalf of Yorkville, a sophomore ranked 4th, and Frank Moyes, a senior from Lawrenceville. He's 42-0, and Metcalf 24-0-1. That was a 3-2 win for Frank Moyes. Take a look at A 103 pounds. That is Metcalf with the white over red, and Moyes in all red. And he wins it by the score of 3-2 to win the title in Class A 103 pounds. Let's take a quick switch, if we can, over to Class A at 112 pounds. Where right now, it is a 5-3 lead for Jeff Castor and Muhammad Seymour. You see on your left the Class A as they have now got 1:20 left to go in their third period. And you see they just began the third period in AA. We will get back to AA momentarily. 5-3 in favor of Castor, but right now driving him outside the circle is Villarreal. He's only a sophomore.
Villarreal trying for the reversal or the loss of control there. Didn't get either one.
We'll pick up their action for a little while, and when they're ready to restart at AA at 1:30 left to go, we'll pick up Noble and Ranella, who are still scoreless. This is 112 pounds action, Class A.
Well, Noble has not heeded my advice so far in the third period. He's decided to go on the mat with Ranella. So far, so good.
Let's go back now to AA. As they have restarted, they have 1:20 left. Still no score. Noble in the yellow and brown. Ranella wearing the blue.
Ranella to his feet. Still hasn't gotten away. And there's what you don't want to happen. You don't want to be reversed by Mike Ranella, because you might not get up. He's that good on the mat. Noble rode him for almost a minute. Now I think Ranella is just going to try and freeze out this state title. And Noble had better get his head up off the mat right now, or he's going to be warned for stalling.
47 seconds remaining. Ranella trying for back-to-back state titles at 112 pounds.
Now Ranella, or I should say Noble, trying to stand up. Ranella throwing in the legs.
Seconds remaining.
And it's going to be very difficult for Derek Noble to get out of this as they stop and start it.
Stalemate declared. So they'll restart it with 24 seconds remaining, third period, a 2-0 lead. No scoring at all in this match here at 112 pounds until this final period.
Whoa, now Noble looks like he's got a reversal, or at very least a loss of control.
The crowd chanting
it is a loss of control.
He will get one.
Great reaction by Noble off the whistle. He surprised Ranella there, and now he's got a chance to go after him. He's got a stall warning against Ranella. He's got to pick up the pace and try and get him warned again. Maybe send this one into overtime.
You see the clock, just 2 seconds, and there it is. Point for Noble, and it's tied at 2. And they're going to go to overtime in AA at 112 pounds.
Well, Noble showed me something there, being able to get off the bottom against Ranella. Noble, an opponent that Ranella hasn't seen before, and then pushing him on his feet to get the warning for stalling, sending it into overtime.
We're underway in the 2-minute overtime period. This period goes to its conclusion. If there is no leader, then they go to a tiebreaker.
Now, if you're Noble, we have a 2-minute period on the feet here, and if you're Noble, I think you want to try and get this over with now in the 2 minutes. Don't take your chances on going to that 30-second sudden death where Ranella definitely has the advantage.
Ranella scoring on a takedown, and Noble getting a reversal.
Ranella has been warned and penalized for stalling, so if you're Noble, and here's a single leg attempt by Ranella. The first good takedown shot Ranella's had in this match. And there it is.
Sudden death overtime, 4-2. Mike Ranella wins at 112 pounds.
And he won it on his feet with a takedown in the sudden death. Here it is. He got in deep on that outside single. Noble trying to get out of bounds maybe, but Ranella just picked him up, lifted him off the mat, carried him on to his back, and he's a two-time state champion.
Let's take a look now at the Class A 112-pound match where Jeff Castor won it by the score of 5-4. He's in the dark as Villarreal shoots in there.
Villarreal trying to shoot for the takedown. Now Castor spins behind on the counter move and has the takedown that eventually won it for him.
As he went on to win it 5-4 to win the Class A title at 112 pounds. There's Mike Ranella. We pick up the action now in the second period.
Get going here!
Now Kennedy trying for a tilt. Elliott has to stand up and break that hand control to try and break the control that Kennedy has here on top. And he has broken the hand control, Elliott has. Now all he has to do is scoot his hips around. And he's going to get the reversal, and he has gotten the reversal. Now he's trying for a tilt himself. The key was breaking the hand control. When Elliott established the hand control, he had the control.
Elliott with a 4-2 lead.
Still no change in the hand control, and now Elliott with the half Nelson, and he's got Kennedy on his back.
He'll definitely get some back points out of that.
Closing seconds in the second period. And
he'll pick up 3.
And what you saw there in the second period was, as long as Kennedy had that hand control established on the top, he was still in command of the situation. Once Elliott, now you see Elliott turning Kennedy to his back with that half Nelson. The arm trapped and around the head, and it'll be 3 near fall points. But once Elliott broke the hand control and established the hand control of his own, he had the reversal. Now you see Kennedy trying to reach behind him, trying to work another step over, probably another hip over against Elliott, but he hasn't broken the hand control.
A 7-2 lead for Trevor Elliott, going for his 3rd consecutive state championship in the Class A level.
Elliott hanging on, still has the hand control. Now he's trying to turn him over. And Kennedy managed to roll through.
Let's now go to Double-A at 119 pounds, where Keith McCoy in the green from Providence is tied with Ralph Ruiz of Burbank St. Lawrence at 3 apiece with 1:09 left to go in their period. They are tied at 3. Ruiz 35-4-1. Now it's a 4-3 lead for Ruiz. Meanwhile, McCoy 44-1.
To either a takedown for Ruiz or fleeing the mat call there against McCoy.
And McCoy has come up with a bloody nose.
Nothing doing on the call on the part of the official, Bill Benner.
It depends on where the wrestler's supporting points are. If they're on their feet, the supporting points are obviously their feet. If they're on the mat, it could be shoulders, knees. It's the supporting points. As long as one wrestler has at least one supporting point in the circle, you can keep going.
McCoy's attack is basically underneath and straight in, and he's wrestled a little tight in this match, but there's the takedown that puts him ahead.
A 5-4 lead for McCoy with 38 seconds to go in the 3rd period of Double-A 119.
McCoy managed to penetrate underneath Ruiz on that duck under move and then spun behind for the takedown. Now he's trying to tilt him for 2, didn't quite get it.
McCoy ranked number 2 at this weight class. 15 seconds left. Won finals at Springfield and Geneseo from that strong nationally ranked program at New Lenox Providence under coach Mike Holtz.
And he couldn't quite do it.
5'4", McCoy holds on to defeat Ralph Ruiz at 119 pounds.
Oh, and for just a second, Ralph Ruiz was out. He had the escape, and McCoy pancaked him to his back just in the closing seconds to hang on for the win.
Takedown earlier in the match, Rob.
McCoy had Ruiz's head buried in the mat. He spun behind. He got the takedown on his way to the win.
He was down 3-1 the takedown. Allowed him to come back and tie it at 3, and he won with another takedown and defeated Ruiz by the score of 5-4. And in the final result of the Class A match, Trevor Elliott went on to defeat Kennedy by the score of 7-5 at 119 pounds. Go back to that match where Elliott, going for his 3rd straight championship, really broke it open. He had a 4-2 lead, got 3 near fall points.
Well, the second period was what did it for Elliott. He had the reversal, the 3 near fall points, very tough on the mat. He gave up an escape and a takedown in the 3rd period, but it didn't matter except for the final score. 7-5, Elliott's the winner.
And there's Trevor Elliott, Cronham State champion for the 3rd consecutive time. What an outstanding career. We're underway in Class A at 125 pounds. Mike Mena going for his 4th state championship, 39-0 this year against Jeremy Castro, a sophomore. Maybe the future at this weight class, or perhaps up a little higher at 33-5.
Castro's just had an outstanding sophomore year. He's made it here to the state finals. He's been the one wrestler that's been able to hang closest with Mike Mena over the course of most of the season. But 3 of his losses are to Mena, as are the losses of many other wrestlers. And so far, Mena's had things his own way. Came out for the takedown immediately, and it looks like he wants to spend a little time on the mat here.
What a family tradition. Menas have been here in Champaign just about every year recently.
If Mike wins this match, as I expect he will, it'll be the 7th straight year that a Mena has won a state championship for Sterling Newman, and the 8th straight year that a Mena has been in the finals. His brother Bob was a 3-time state champion for Newman, and Mike trying to go him one better here with the early 2-0 lead.
1:01 left in the first period. This is Class A at 119 pounds. Mena will give up the point on the escape, and he leads 2-1.
Take down green, and then you're out of bounds.
And you heard Sam Samorian said, give 2 more to Mena on the takedown, so he now leads 4-1, and then they wound up outside the circle.
I think you're going to hear the words 2 takedown green a lot in this match. And here you see Mena signaling the optional start. He has to signal it to the referee so the referee can inform the bottom wrestler that that's the start he's going to use. He gives up the escape. It's 4-2, and Mena's going to look for another takedown.
Mena is this match away from completing a remarkable career. 4 years undefeated. He leads 6-2, and he's cruising right now.
Never lost a high school match, as far as we know. As far as the record book says, no Illinois wrestler has ever matched that feat.
36 seconds left to go in the first period, and he's already built up a 6-1 lead over Jeremy Castro. But this is where a youngster like Castro, you use this for a learning experience.
This is as good a match, as good experience as Castro is ever going to get. He's had his trip to the Grand March, and if he can build on this for the next year and the year after that, the sky's the limit. He's got a lot of ability, and the second half of the year he really came on for Savannah.
And a 39-0 this year. As a junior, 34-0-1, 42-0 as a sophomore, 43-0 as a freshman. I'll ask you, the expert, who was the draw? Do you remember?
Well, the draw was in his, as a matter of fact, his first match back last year, his junior year, with the wrestler we're going to see in the next round at the next weight class, Joel Stockwell from Riverdale. Mena had served about a month suspension from the team for breaking a team rule, and wasn't quite in shape coming back, and Stockwell tied him first match of the year. He came back and beat Stockwell 3 more times before the year was over.
6-2 lead for Mike Mena. You know, last year he made such quick work of things, getting a quick fall for his state title a year ago. It seems like perhaps maybe this year, not that he is toying with Castro, but obviously his moment here in the spotlight lasting a lot longer here in his swan song for his high school career.
And there's a reversal. That ups his lead to 8-2 now. And you watch Mena at work here. He knows he's wrestled Castro 3 times before. He knows he's beaten him 3 times before. But you can see he's not taking Castro lightly. He knows that you only have one chance to be a 4-time state champion, and he's not going to take anything for granted.
Rob, let's move now over to AA at 125 pounds, where our battle there on the right, Mickey Griffin in the dark from Marion, Chicago Heights Marion, 38-1-2, is taking Osvaldo Quintanilla, a senior from Waubonsee Valley in Aurora. He's 37-10. It's a 5-3 lead for Griffin.
Griffin struck early in this match on a 4-point headlock, and that's Griffin's strength. He's a very explosive wrestler. And there it is. There's another headlock. He countered that Quintanilla duck under with that headlock and right to his back.
He leads 7-3, 33 seconds to go in the second period.
And Quintanilla in a lot of trouble right here. Griffin with a lot of time to try and score the pin. And he'll throw that headlock at you from anywhere. You always got to be ready for it.
15 seconds left in the period. Griffin was not ranked in preseason. Was a qualifier last year at 112 pounds. And got going early with wins at Rich South and Rich East. And then tied Ben Gertie's 3-3 in a duel.
10-3 the score now in favor of Mickey Griffin, and 9 of his points have come on those 2 picture-perfect headlocks against Osvaldo Quintanilla. And boy, that kind of firepower is really difficult to deal with.
Moving now late in the third period. Griffin's in the dark. In the yellow is Osvaldo Quintanilla of Waubonsee Valley.
Griffin shooting in on that single leg takedown, changed up to a double. And if he gets his head out, he's going to have 2 points. As we tick down the final seconds. And he does get his head out. That is a takedown. And Griffin wins the state title.
12-4. Griffin wins AA 125 pounds. 12-4 win over Quintanilla. So Griffin ranked number 3 in the preseason, who knocked off Ryan Ferguson earlier today in the semifinals. His crown champion. And congratulations, Don McKillop as coach. We're at Class A. Mike Mena leading 24-11, a 13-point margin. One more takedown and it's over.
One more takedown and Mena will complete an undefeated career.
23 seconds remaining. They're outside the circle and they'll restart from a standing position with 15 seconds remaining. Mike Mena trying to go 40-0.
Castro doesn't want to be a technical fall victim. He wants to last this entire 6 minutes.
Mena with 159 wins entering tonight's action, 11th on the all-time list. Looking for number 160. He would still stay 11th. And it's all over.
There's his brother Bob and his coach Daryl Dieterle in the corner.
4-time state champion.
little bit of history being made here in the Assembly Hall.
The crowd a bit unhappy, but Mena's in a no-win situation, basically. Early in the
high double leg takedown by Mena. Just unbeatable on his feet in this match.
And again, he went on to win it 24-11. We'll be back with more of the Illinois High School Association Wrestling Championships from the Assembly Hall after we take this time out on SportsChannel. Assembly Hall, Tom Stalker, Rob Sherrill with you. This indeed can be a family event. In a little bit, we're going to see the brother acts. First of all, Joe Williams at 145, Steve Williams, 130 for Mont Carmel at AA, and Matt Hughes at 145, and Mark Hughes at 152 in Class A for Hillsboro. Let's move over to the other mat at Class A, where it's #1 ranked Joel Stockwell of Riverdale, a junior who is 34-2, against second-ranked Sean Lawrence, a senior from Plano. He is 32-4-1. It is a 4-2 lead for Stockwell, and Stockwell right now is in control in the yellow and black.
Stockwell, third in the state the last couple of years, has really come into his own this season.
Stockwell third last year at 125 with a 35-6-1 record, and as a freshman was third at 112 pounds. It wins this year at Stillman Valley, Princeton, and Geneseo.
Lawrence nursed along a knee injury a lot of the year this year, and once he finally managed to get himself over that, he's been tough to beat.
2 on the takedown for Lawrence, and it's tied at 4. A minute 40 to go in the third period. And now an escape for Stockwell as he regains the lead 5-4.
Stockwell in again on that single leg attack, and it's a stalemate.
Let's go over down to AA, where it is 10-8. Kevin Haynes leading Laconia. Haynes with an escape, 2 escapes, and Laconia a takedown in the period.
Laconia had another takedown on the edge that brought him within 9-8, and the escape he gave to Haynes made it 10-8.
A minute 19 left to go in the third period. 10-8 Haynes.
That last takedown for Laconia may be very difficult to come by, but it's obvious watching now that he's got a little bit more left at this point than Haynes does, and now he's spinning behind, trying to get another takedown, trying to keep Haynes in bounds here.
There he gets it, and it's tied at 10.
Laconia with the single leg, tripped the other leg, and got the takedown, and we have a 10-all tie. Now Laconia trying to lock up a cradle, trying to get more points against Haynes.
Oh, Haynes.
Nothing yet. Haynes has not broken the hand control.
No loss of control. Laconia maintains control when it looked like Haynes had a chance to maybe get a reversal, maybe escape. 34 seconds to go in the period, and they're tied at 10.
Very, very dangerous move by Laconia, trying to take that cradle over himself, and Haynes nearly broke the hands and got a reversal.
Right in here.
But since Haynes did not break the cradle, did not break the hand control of Laconia, there was no change in control.
All right, while they tend to Haynes, let's go over to Class A with 20 seconds left in the period. It's 7-4 Stockwell as he picked up an escape and a takedown on Lawrence here in this period.
4-4 tie at the escape and the takedown for Stockwell. And he's got those legs in, and it's going to be a state championship, it looks like, for Joel Stockwell of Riverdale.
3 seconds remaining. 3 seconds left. He will let Lawrence escape, give up the point. It'll be 7-5, but Lawrence is run out of time. No, he won't do that. It's all over anyway. 7-4. Stockwell is the state champ in Class A at 130 pounds. And he finishes this portion of the season 35-2. Let's go back to AA. It's 11-10 in favor of Haynes. 19 seconds remaining.
Cody decided to let Haynes go, try for that winning takedown. Now Haynes Lacconi trying to spin behind.
6 seconds. They're out of the circle and no points awarded. Oh, and Lacconi looking up at the referee, pleading for some points, but the prayer is unanswered.
Looked like maybe he had control, and Haynes made the shot, and there it is.
Haynes wins 11-10. Oh, what a thrilling match at AA, 130 pounds.
Well, Lacconi did the right thing. He elected to go for the takedown, to let Haynes escape, go for the winning takedown, and he just about had it on the edge with 5 seconds left. But it was not to be. Haynes is a state champion.
Haynes scored 3 single points in the third period, while Lacconi hit 2 takedowns. There's one of the points there on the escape.
Lacconi decided to let him go. That was the escape that, as it turned out, won it.
He had a 10-10 tie, and that was the escape. Let's take a look at some action from that Class A match between Stockwell and Lawrence.
Stockwell with a crossbody ride in here, trying to crank Lawrence over.
In AA, in 6th place.
And 7-4 was the final for #1 ranked Joel Stockwell in Class A, 130 pounds. Early in the second period, Widlowski in the green, Williams in the brown.
He really didn't have control established until he had that cradle.
Earlier today in the semifinals, Williams was on the ropes, as it were. He was down 7-5 to third-ranked Herb House of Conant. But then Williams pinned him at the 3:33 mark, coming from behind.
Once again, the cradle was what did it for Steve Williams. He's got one of the best.
And Widlowski had a tough semifinal himself as he defeated fourth-rated Matt Seaman of Lions for a 3-1.
Another takedown for Steve Williams.
7 to make that 8-0 lead.
Now going for a cross-face cradle.
52 seconds, and he'll get 3 more on near fall points. He leads 11-0. Once again, Williams' straps of his headgear is just about blocked his eyesight. It's an eyebrow level. 33 seconds to go in the second period. 11-0. The lead for Steve Williams.
Williams has done it the way he's done it throughout this tournament and throughout the tournament last year by being explosive. Here he was looking for the cross-face cradle. Couldn't quite turn him over.
Back to live action. They're out of bounds with 27 seconds to go in the second period. 11-0. Steve Williams looking for his second consecutive title. Battle of the top 2 ranked wrestlers of this weight class. Joe Widlowski, talk about improving though as a sophomore, losing 22 matches.
Well, he went on a weight program after his sophomore year. It showed last year, and there aren't very many wrestlers that could outmuscle Joe Widlowski, but Steve Williams' combination of strength and athletic ability has just been too much.
And we could very likely see both of these wrestlers again next week, as Sport Channel's coverage will bring you the dual team wrestling championships from Redbird Arena in Bloomington Normal. The head-to-head meeting of those two teams. Providence with a big win earlier this year. 4 seconds left to go in the second period. Here at 135 pounds, and it's a commanding lead for Steve Williams. Final few seconds, 8 seconds left, but still 11-0 Steve Williams in Double-A at 135 pounds. 2 seconds left. And 11-2 the final. Wodlowski getting a reversal, but Steve Williams is crowned champion once again, adding the 135-pound title this year to his title at 130 last year. So Williams getting the late start with his academic problems. 19-0-1. Raises his hand as champion.
Right here, you watch Steve Williams turn in on Wodlowski and take him right to his back.
There he goes right up to the stands there behind us.
Just kind of put Wodlowski on his back with his own move.
High fives all over the place. All right, Todd Graham and David Dubajunk have resumed at 135 pounds for Class A. They have 1 minute and 4 seconds left, and Dubajunk still holding on to a 4-3 edge.
Graham very, very tough on the mat. This is where he's strongest. He's decided he's going to try and turn Dubajunk here.
53 seconds. You see the clock there in the corner on the scoreboard. There's been no scoring in this third period. And you hear the stalemate whistle with 32 seconds remaining.
I think that's a good call. I think he kind of did Graham a little bit of a favor because he had nothing doing trying to tilt Dubajunk over in that situation.
Dubajunk ranked number 2, Graham ranked number 3, as we said.
Now with 32 seconds left in this match, Graham has a big decision to make. Does he want to keep trying to go on the mat with Dubajunk? He hasn't been able to turn him in a minute and a half. Or does he let him go and spend the last 32 seconds trying for a takedown that would tie it and force him into overtime?
There you see Dubajunk. He knocked off number 1 ranked Dan Schickel of Evergreen Park in the second round with a 10-8 overtime win to get to the semifinals. Graham had lost to Schickel 6-4 in the sectionals. Graham had to come all the way from the first round to get here to the finals.
Kind of expected to see Schickel here in the finals. He's had a great season, had a very good sectional, but just wasn't up to par here in the state tournament. He lost that match to Dubajunk in the quarterfinals, and then lost again in the wrestlebacks and didn't place this year.
Dubajunk, 106 wins, 10 losses, 1 draw the last 3 years. Last year was 42-3 when he finished second at 125. We're at Class A, 135 pounds. It's 4-3, Dubajunk with the lead, and just 31 seconds remaining in the third period.
Well, Graham has decided he's going to do it on the mat if he's going to do it anywhere.
20 seconds left. 13 seconds remaining. 1 point so near. Yet so far.
Dubajunk really hasn't come close to getting out.
10 seconds.
But Graham really hasn't been able to lock up anything on top.
2 seconds. 4-3 3, Dubajak hangs on and wins the state title at 135 pounds. His 40th win in 42 bouts this year, and Todd Grant losing for only the 4th time this season. A predictable close match between those two fine young wrestlers.
1-point match last time, 1-point match this time. Dubajak able to keep from getting turned, and that was the difference. He had scored 2 takedowns earlier in the match, so that probably was in the back of Graham's mind, trying to turn him rather than to try to take him down for the tie.
A reminder that this copyrighted broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the written consent of SportsChannel is strictly prohibited. It's the top 2 rated wrestlers at AA 140 pounds. Number 1 ranked Eric Seibert, 45-1 from LaSalle, Peru, a junior, against Ernest Benyon, a senior from Romeoville, one of 17 undefeated finalists at 40-0. Seibert's in the green, Benyon in the white over blue.
Well, this is a rematch, and a most interesting rematch from the semifinals of the Joliet Central Sectional last weekend. That match was run by Benyon by a score of 4-2, and he did it where he is so tough on the mat. He controlled the match on the mat in the second period, riding Seibert out, broke him down, and was able to get the winning takedown in the 3rd period. We'll see if Seibert has changed his tactics a little bit since that match.
No score. A minute and 22 remaining in the 1st period at 140 pounds. Stalemate is whistled. In the preseason, Seibert was ranked number 2 behind Terry Dantzler of Bremen. Last year's Seibert was 3rd at 135 pounds with a record of 45-2, and in fact was the first sophomore to win 6 matches in a state tournament.
He did quite a job coming all the way through the wrestle match, particularly for a sophomore. That's quite an accomplishment.
Benyon was ranked 3rd in the preseason. Last year he was 4th at 130 pounds. And had a record of 36-5. Seconds left to go in the 1st period. Lead for Eric Seibert.
First 2 points go to Seibert as they did last week in the rematch in their first match.
17 seconds remaining. Seibert still with a 2-0 lead.
Looking for a tilt now.
Seibert earlier this year beat Widlowski of Providence 15-6 in the finals at Springfield.
That's when Widlowski was still wrestling at 140 pounds, as he did all the time before Christmas. Then he came down to 135, and he's been pretty unbeatable since then.
All right, let's take a look at what happened where very quickly at Class A 140 pounds, Matt McDonald in the blue shooting in there against John Lee from Monticello.
Well, Seibert has changed his tactics since last week. Last week he took the down position, as there you saw Matt McDonald of Sterling Newman picking up the first pin of the semifinal of the final round.
At 44 seconds into the match, McDonald ranked number 1, finishing the season 43-2. He's ranked 3rd in the preseason. That justifies his number 1 ranking entering the finals. Lead finishes at 34-3. Again, the pin for McDonald at 44 seconds. Back now to Double-A with 1:41 to go in the second period. It's still 2-0 Siebert.
Well, what Bennion is going to have to do is pick up the pace on the feet a little bit, and that was a nice ankle pick by Siebert, and he finishes it for the takedown, and it's now 4-0. As I started to say while we were showing the pin in the Class A match, last week in their sectional match, Siebert took down in the second period and was ridden out for the entire 2 minutes, and just wasn't the same wrestler in the third period. This time he changed his tactics. He took the neutral position. He scored another takedown, and he wants to control this match where he's best, and that's on the feet.
1 minute to go in the second period. 4-0 Eric Siebert of LaSalle Peru, a junior.
And I think maybe if you see Siebert getting in trouble down there on the mat trying to ride Bennion, he's just going to let him go and go for a takedown. He remembers last week, and he remembers how Bennion beat him, and he wants to keep the match in a situation where he can stay in control.
Siebert moved to number 1 in the rankings after he was selected the outstanding wrestler of the Rockford East tournament. There's an escape and a point for Bennion. He's on the board. He trails 4-1.
Bennion's going to have to do a better job of setting up his takedown shots, because Siebert's a great counter wrestler. And here's another counter shot. But now Bennion finishes the double leg for a takedown. It's 4-3.
Now cut the margin to 1 with 22 seconds to go in the second period. And here Mark Seibert hollering in the background. And there you see him.
That's Bill Winke, the Romeoville coach, who's giving some instructions to Ernest Bennion. And he's telling him, 2 tough minutes right now, and keep your head about you.
4-3 lead for Siebert. Has lost but 1 time in 46 matches this year.
Now Bennion will start on the bottom. Trying to break the hand control of Siebert. And he does, and the match is tied.
4-4 with 1:43 left in the third period.
Another duck under to a double leg by Bennion. He has been forcing the takedown action so far, and he comes out the side and gets the takedown, and it's 6-4.
Ernest trying to finish off a perfect season.
Bennion started off down 4-0. He'd been taken down twice, and this is where Bennion can control the match on the mat.
This is Double-A, 140 pounds, 1:12 to go in the final period. A 6-4 lead, 6 straight points scored by Ernest Bennion.
In last week's match, Siebert did not get off the bottom once. He was, every time that Bennion rode him, he rode him out for the period. It's going to be interesting to see if Siebert can get out and try to get another takedown.
.55 seconds left in the final period.
A couple of good escape attempts there by Siebert. First he tried the switch, and then the step over. Neither of them worked. We got 50 seconds left.
6-4 Bennion. Bill Winke with the instructions for Bennion. A caution against Bennion.
False start.
Bennion in the semifinals today beat Jason Quirza Grossa of Peoria Woodruff 9-3. And it was Siebert in a technical fall over Scott Benson of Naperville Central. 18-3 was the score. It was halted at the 5:28 mark.
Well, in this match, just like he did in the sectional, Benyon has picked it up a notch on his feet. That's usually where Siebert has the advantage. And now that he's got the 2-point lead, he's on top. He's grinding it out on the mat.
It's very difficult when you're the wrestler on the bottom and behind. And sometimes it can also be difficult to be the wrestler on top and behind as well, too, because you've got to really be able to force the action. And there's a point given.
That's the second correction caution against Benyon, the second false start. One more would be a point for Siebert. You're allowed 2 in a match.
30 seconds left.
And there is a switch by Siebert, and it's a 6-6 match. That's the first time that Siebert has been able to get out of Benyon's control in either of the 2 matches they've wrestled.
10 seconds left. They're deadlocked at 6. And there's
an escape.
An escape, and it's 7-6 Benyon. 3 seconds left. Seconds. And that's a caution, a false start against Siebert. And they also took a second off the clock. It's all over. 7-6. Benyon in a tight one is state champ in AA at 140 pounds. A 7-6 win over #1 ranked Eric Siebert. And he is beside himself.
Came back from a 4-0 deficit, Benyon did. He took Siebert down twice. Siebert came back with the reversal, but it would have been unrealistic to think that Siebert could ride him out for 22 seconds, and Benyon got the escape that wanted for him, and look how happy he is.
Benyon, who is the outstanding wrestler at the Stag Invitational and at Homeward Flossmoor, caps off the year with the state title in AA at 140 pounds. Take a look at that escape, which was the winning margin because it was tied at 6.
Here, Benyon's still trying to get out. Hasn't done it yet. Siebert still with the hands locked around the back. Trying to trip Benyon back to his back. But Benyon able to apply pressure against that shoulder, broke the hand control, and got the escape with 5 seconds left.
After the brother team, Matt Hughes of Hillsboro is in the orange and black against Scott Brewer of Canelan, who is in the white and black. Brewer 36-4, and Hughes undefeated at 40-0.
Well, that Hillsboro, Mount Olive, Litchfield triangle down south of Springfield has always produced some pretty good teams and some pretty balanced teams, but the Hugheses are definitely the best wrestlers ever to come out of that area. Matt proved it last year, winning the state. He was a 4-time state qualifier. His brother Mark, who we'll see in the next match at 152, 3-time state qualifier, and he's going for a title himself.
Minute 10 left to go, first period. No score in the Class A 145-pound match between Matt Hughes and Scott Brewer. Now we go to the right side of your screen. In the red, that's #1 ranked Terry Dantzler of Bremen, 37-0-1, against Roger Pasquale of Frem, the junior, who is 33-4. Let's just watch both matches for a while.
Pasquale had a really dramatic semifinal win this afternoon against Scott Radosevich of Mount Carmel. They battled through 8 minutes, tied 0-0. Radosevich won the coin toss in the 30-second sudden death overtime, took the down position, and the bottom wrestler escapes from the down position about 4 out of 5 times it happens, but Pasquale was able to ride him out for 30 seconds. He won the match, and here he is in the finals against Dantzler, the defending champion.
He was champ at 140 pounds last year. Was ranked preseason #1 at that weight class, but is going for the 145-pound title here this evening. Dantzler tied Joe Wadlowski 3-3 early in the season at 140, dropped out of the #1 spot, then moved to 145 early in January and moved into the #1 spot. 15 seconds ago in the first period, a 2-1 lead for Dantzler against Roger Pasquale of France.
Nice scramble by Dantzler to avoid being taken down. Pasquale in pretty deep on that single leg shot.
6 seconds left in the first period. And it's 2-1, Dantzler with the lead after 1 period. Dantzler, a 2-time state qualifier. Beat Tony Carlson of Conan earlier today in the semifinals, who is ranked #5. And Dantzler also with wins over Troy Bell of Evanston and Lamont Wilson of Danville to get here to the final.
The bottom bracket at 145 pounds, very, very difficult. And fortunately for Dantzler, he didn't have to go through most of that. The bottom quarter of that bracket was very tough, and 145 pounds was one of the most difficult weight classes in Class AA, because so many wrestlers who competed at 152 early in the season went down to 145 to avoid wrestling Joe Williams, who a lot of people think is almost unbeatable.
30 seconds gone in the second period. It's a 3-1 lead now for Dantzler, as he picked up a point there on an escape.
Right there.
Nothing there. Dantzler almost had the takedown with that seat belt.
Let's go.
1 minute gone in the second period. 3-1 lead for Dantzler. He's in the red. And a stalemate. Referee
Stall
saying
warning against both wrestlers.
Asking both now to press the action. 44 seconds left, second period. There's been only 1 point awarded in the second period so far.
Tom Henneth, who is the referee in this match, has come to have a reputation as one of our outstanding interpreters of calling stalling. And that probably stems from his experience as an international official, as Dantzler scores a takedown quickly on that duck under.
And with 17 seconds left, he leads 5-1.
Left. Get the bus here.
10 seconds remaining in the second period. And with 1 period left, 3 points scored in the period for Dantzler, and he leads at 5-1 at 145 pounds. So that bout there has 1 2-minute period left over a Class A, 145 pounds. It's still a 2-0 lead for #1 ranked Matt Hughes of Hillsboro, leading Scott Brewer of Canelan. And that is Hughes in control.
2 points and more for Matt Hughes on that suckback.
He'll get 3.
There you go.
And he takes a 5-0 lead as the second period runs out. 1 period left, and he leads Brewer 5-0.
2 more minutes, son. 2 more minutes. Freak out. Quick. Turn into it. Neutral.
An escape for Brewer. He's on the board. He trails 5-1. Hughes coached by Dave Ball. Brewer coached by Ray Epperson.
Brewer really in a no-win situation here. He's not going to take Hughes down, but you saw what happened in the second period. He was ridden out and turned to his back by Hughes, so it's really going to be a difficult situation.
No.
He does take Hughes down at 6-2.
Get out, man. Get out.
Brewer not ranked in preseason. He was 1 to watch, according to my expert analyst here. He was 21-12 last year. Brewer this year lost 7-0 to second-ranked Andy Dahlner of Sandwich at Plano, and avenged that loss with a 5-4 win at Stillman Valley.
only 21-12, but a state qualifier last year. So Brewer got a taste of what life here at the Assembly Hall is about. And he's definitely improved his position in 1992.
54 seconds left to go in that period. 6-2 lead for Matt Hughes.
Hughes coasting just a little bit here in the third period. He's got a fairly comfortable lead at 6-2.
48 seconds left. This is Class A, 145 pounds.
Brewer's decided he's going to go after him on his feet.
30 seconds left in the Class A match. And over at Double A, they now have 22 seconds left. Dantzler just picked up a point, 2 points, and leads by the score of 7-2 with 15 seconds left.
And Matt Hughes just did the same thing. He scored a takedown on that duck under, and he'll win the state championship by a score of 9-2.
As we look now, just 2 seconds left for Dantzler, and he gives up a point as Pasquale will get it on the escape, but it's a moot point. 7-3. Terry Dantzler, back-to-back championships. Last year, 140-pound champ, and this year, 145. Let's pick up some of the action from earlier in this double-A match.
Pasquale in on that single leg. But Dantzler scoots his hips out. Now watch him pick up hand control here. Breaks the hand control of Pasquale, and that's control for Dantzler, a takedown and 2 points.
Dantzler 38-0-1. Pasquale finishing off a fine season at 33-5. Back over at the Class A 145-pound, Matt Hughes, part of the brother team, has already picked up half of the state titles they can win tonight as he wins 9-2 to stay undefeated at 41-0. Fine season. Coming up, more of the 55th annual IHSA State Wrestling Championships from the Assembly Hall. Sports Channel's coverage continues. At 152 pounds in Double A, #1 ranked Joe Williams, 35-0, facing Anthony Dedman of Freeport, 36-1.
Well, when the camera came up, Joe Williams was in a familiar position in on the opponent's legs on the attack. He scored the first takedown of the match, and he's let Dedman escape, and it's a 2-1 lead.
Two-time state champ Joe Williams, state champ at 145 last year, going 40-0, and as a freshman was state champ at 135 pounds.
A good chance to be the #1 college prospect in the country next year. Just outstanding on his feet. Virtually impossible to take down. He can force the issue and take you down. He can score. He's just as dangerous on counters, on countering your shot. Doesn't do a lot on the mat, but he really doesn't need to. When he gets in a tough match, he'll go against you on the feet.
Earlier today, Dedman in the semifinals held off second-ranked Dan Gilbert to win 6-5, holding off Gilbert, who was trying to get a takedown when the buzzer sounded.
Very, very close to a takedown at the buzzer.
Dedman, a bit of a surprise to be here in the finals, but Joe Williams, no surprise.
No surprise at all, and Dedman will be Freeport's first state place winner in almost a decade.
Williams knocking off Tim Kankey of Geneseo in the semifinals.
Now we see Dedman trying to counter with a spin behind on Williams, but Williams just too quick to give it up.
25 seconds left in the first period, a 2-1 lead for Williams.
And that's just great athletic ability there.
And he's going to get 2 more. They're outside the circle. 3 in the near fall after the takedown. And a 7-1 lead for Williams late here in the first period.
Set. Cover, please.
13 seconds remaining. Williams lifting Dedman in the air. And time runs out. A 7-1 lead for Williams after one period at 152 pounds. Now over to Class A, 152 pounds. A 5-0 lead in the second period for Eric Johnson of Bismarck Henning, a junior who is 31-1. Mark Hughes, the other Hughes brother, 39-1, and has found himself in a bit of trouble.
Trailing 5-1 so far. There's a point for an escape, and now it's 5-1. Johnson a takedown and a 3-point near fall there in the first period. And another takedown for Joe Williams over here on the AA mat.
Earlier today in the semifinals, Hughes, ranked #1 in this weight class, had to knock off #2 ranked Larry Popp of Harvard, another half of a famous, very good brother team up at Harvard. 13-9, Hughes the winner over Popp. 105 left to go in the second period here in Class A, 152 pounds. A 5-1 lead for Eric Johnson of Bismarck Henning.
Both of these brothers, of course, the Hughes brothers, about the same frame size. So what we have here is Mark Hughes, basically a 145-pounder, against Eric Johnson, who wrestled 160 a lot of the season before coming down to 152. So Hughes has a size disadvantage to overcome here, and that'll make it a little tougher to overcome that 4-point deficit.
Ankle.
Hughes was a winner at the Clinton Invitational. Fine Central Illinois tournament.
Come on, guys.
Johnson from right here in the East Central Illinois area, Bismarck Henning. 17 seconds left to go, second period. Warning against Johnson. He leads 5-1 with time running out of the second period.
What Hughes needs to do here is to use his quickness a little bit. To look for a snap and spin there, maybe. Hasn't been able to do it yet.
Going to the third period, it's 5-1 in favor of Johnson. Seconds into the period, the headgear equipment readjusted by Johnson. Johnson definitely has a bit of a height advantage and a little more angular momentum than to work with.
Now Hughes with that ankle pick trying to bring him in, and he's got the takedown.
You see his supporting points, his feet were still inside. Now watching, of course.
Mark.
Matt Hughes has just won the 145-pound state title in the corner with his brother. In the corner with Hillsboro coach Dave Ball, trying to help his brother.
Now a caution against Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes down by 2.
Let's go. Home work.
Approaching 1 minute left in the period. 5-3. Johnson, who had a 5-0 lead. And there's a point now. It's 5-4.
Hughes wants to stack Johnson up. I don't know if he's going to be able to turn him. If I were him, I would go back on his feet. And there we go.
There's an escape for Johnson as he now leads 6-4.
A little easier to get Johnson on the defensive and going backwards this way.
36 seconds left, a 2-point lead for Johnson. He's in the blue.
Now Hughes has to be looking for a spin behind move right here. Push the head away, keep the head down, or get him work.
22 seconds left, still time for Hughes. $15 seconds left.
Johnson doing a pretty good job of protecting his legs.
6 seconds left. A point for Hughes. It is 6-5. 6 seconds remaining.
He's got to keep the pressure on here. He's got to keep pushing Johnson back.
And they stop it with 1 second. They'll restart from a standing position, but I think time has run out on Mark Hughes. It does. Eric Johnson is the winner in Class A, 152 pounds, a 6-5 win for the junior. And his 32nd win in 33 pounds. Hughes goes to 39-2. Now let's go over to AA 152. We're cruising to his 3rd state championship.
One more takedown for Joe Williams, and there it is. He's got the technical fall.
That's it. Technical fall, 18-5. And that'll come at the 5:39 mark. 3 state titles now for Joe Williams, and indeed he will follow Mike Menace next year and be a 4-time champion. I'd say the odds would look pretty good.
Barring injury, I don't see any way that Joe Williams is going to be stopped for the remainder of his high school career.
So he's had titles at 135, 145, and now 152. Joe Williams of Mount Carmel going to 36-0. Anthony Dedman, 36-2.
Still a great state tournament for Anthony Dedman, getting all the way to the finals through a pretty tough bracket. Here's Williams, counters Dedman's shot, pushes the head away, has the underhook, and just carries him to his back for a takedown. Great hip action by Joe Williams. That's something you just can't teach, and that's the technical fall.
And just to remind you that in Class A, it was that 6-5 thrilling win for Eric Johnson of Bismarck County.
Here's the hip toss that Johnson used in the first period to get 5 points. A takedown, 3 on the back, right at the end of the first period. Picture-perfect hip toss by Eric Johnson, and that gave him a 5-0 lead. All 3 of Johnson's wins in this state tournament came by 1 point, but that's all you have to win by.
Third period underway here at the Assembly Hall. Goes down and may have turned an ankle.
Looks like that's exactly what happened when they blew the whistle.
Let's see if we can pick up, Rob, and see exactly where it might have occurred, and indeed if it was an ankle.
Either that or Kading might have stepped on his foot. Yeah, it looked like Kading stepped right on his ankle when they went over toward the edge of the mat.
So they continue to look at John Kading.
Looked like he stepped right on his instep, and it resulted in his ankle getting turned underneath.
Over in Class A at 160 pounds, we finally get our first points in the battle between #1 ranked Corey Christensen of Normal University and 3rd rated Tim Kester of Taylor Ridge Rockridge. Christensen now with a 2-0 lead, and in fact now it's 2-2. Kester has just come back to tie it with 1:05 to go in the second period.
Christensen looking for his second takedown of this second period, and he's got it. Kester started out with the escape. Christensen took him down, and Kester escaped again. And now Christensen with his second takedown with a 4-2 lead.
Christensen undefeated this year, 40-0. Earlier this year, beat second-rated Tom Felstead of Sandwich 5-3. Beat number 1 ranked Mark Hughes at 145, 13-5 at Clinton. He moved to 171, 11 pounds up, and was the outstanding wrestler at Prairie Central for the 3rd consecutive year. In fact, Christensen transferred. Normal University Invitational. Christensen was the co-outstanding wrestler. 4-3 lead for Christensen over Kester. Let's go back now to Class A. A minute 14. Make it double A. A minute 14 left to go in the 3rd period. Still no score, but we'll hold up both bouts for you on the screen. 16 seconds left to go in the Class A match on your left. And 1:14 to go in the 3rd period, the Class AA match on your right. Herman and Kading.
Looks like Herman has decided to try to ride Kading out. And Kading just about out there. Good. And now he is out.
1 point on the escape for Kading. First points of the match.
Kading still hanging on that tie-up around the head with the double underhook.
1-0, 37 seconds remaining.
And Herman is going to have to get out of that if he expects to be able to get any good takedown shots. Kading's upper body ties are really difficult to penetrate. If he's not scoring with them, he's keeping you from getting into your offense, and that's exactly what he's doing to Herman
with that tremendous upper body strength. 13 seconds left. 1-0. 10 seconds left.
Kading seems content not to score, just to keep Herman from scoring.
1-0. Kading wins for the 2nd consecutive year in the finals against Javon Herman of St. Charles. 1-0. Let's go back and find the escape with about 50 seconds to go in the match, which gave Kading his 2nd consecutive state title. Because what a fine bout. It was not a boring bout at all.
Here you see Kading's just about out, and he is. Herman countered 1 escape attempt, and then Kading came to his feet again, and that time he was able to break the hands.
37-0, John Kading, the senior from Glenbard South. Javon Herman, 39-2. So now at 160, John Kading is crowned champion, and over now on the left side of your screen, back to the Class A bout at 160 pounds. A minute 17 to go. It is 8-3 as Christensen has broken it open. He broke open a 2-2 tie, led 4-2, 4-3, and now leads 8-3.
Well, whether he's been at 160 or 171, Christensen's been unbeatable this year. He owns wins over some of the better 171-pounders in the state, of course, as well as all the top 160-pounders. And he's a minute and 4 seconds away from ending his career as a state champion.
Point on the escape for Kester. It's 8-4. 55 seconds remaining. Kester had a bad week late January with a couple of losses. A pin to Lenny Pop and a 13-0 loss to Byron's Jeff Milford. But he recovered well when it came time for the regionals and sectionals.
Christensen, an outstanding athlete all around, and it's going to be interesting to see what sport he decides to go for in college. He's also an outstanding football player and also a state qualifier as a pole vaulter in track. So he'll play a sport in college for sure. It's going to be interesting to see which one he decides on.
31 seconds remaining. It is 10-4. Christensen with the lead. Christensen trying to finish off an undefeated season by picking up his 41st win without a loss or a draw.
And he's controlled this match on his feet against Tim Kester. 4 takedowns and reversal. 5 escapes now as it becomes 10-5 are all that Kester has.
Earlier in the semifinals, Christensen with a 5-3 win over second-rated Lenny Pop of Harvard. 8 seconds left to go. A 10-5 lead. Now 12-5. And that's it. Corey Christensen, rated #1, is the state champion in Class A at 160 pounds with a 12-5 win over Tim Kester. Christensen 41-0. Kester at 34-4-1.
And Christensen never in danger in that match because he kept it where he's strongest, and that's on his feet.
We pick up the action now in the second period. Talked about Strobel's conditioning, but you've got to think that the quality of program that Mike Bowles runs there, the kind of competition you have to survive to be the first stringer at Providence, also has to be a factor.
Unlike a lot of the other Providence wrestlers, as you can see a reversal there, Tom Manzella very, very tough on the mat. He's a better mat wrestler than most of the other Providence wrestlers who like to go on their feet more than they like to go on the mat. So Manzella, kind of a different style from most of the guys on his team. And now here's Strobel trying to get up and out.
Manzella, a linebacker on Providence's state championship football team in 4A, which I had the pleasure to call against Bloomington, down in Bloomington.
So far, the physical edge has gone to Tom Manzella. You can see the thick upper body, the legs and the arms and shoulders.
51 seconds left in the second period. A 2-0 lead for Tom Manzella against Al Strobel of Lake Zurich.
This is Manzella's bread and butter on the mat. He likes to throw in those legs and try to turn you with that power half Nelson. That's how he scored the pin this afternoon in the semifinals against Jay Nichols of Lions.
Fall coming at the 1:57 mark. Stalemate declared. Still 2-0 with 26 seconds to go, second period. These are two good technical wrestlers, too. Good with technique.
Excellent technicians, both of them. Both of them year-round wrestlers as well. Now Manzella trying to lock up a cradle. Now he wants to sit back with it. And there it is. It's going to be near fall points. Strobel trying to roll through for a Granby, but he hasn't quite been able to do it.
9 seconds left in the period.
And Strobel does roll through.
And there's 2 for Strobel on the reversal. He trails 5-2.
That 3-point near fall, very damaging for Tom Manzella.
So a flurry of activity just before the second period runs out. 1 period left, 5-2 lead for Tom Manzella.
Here you see the cradle by Manzella. Strobel was finally able to break the hands, and when he did, the reversal was his, but not before Manzella had 3 near fall points. Now what Strobel needs to do is get out quick and try to finish this match on the feet. Hasn't been able to do that. He's let Manzella put the legs in again.
30 seconds gone in the final period. A 5-2 lead for Tom Manzella. And a caution there to Tom Manzella. 3-point lead. The state title at stake, let alone the 88-match win streak of Al Strobel.
Come on, man. Work on.
Manzella still riding tough on top.
Get the legs out there. We'll teach you.
Trying for the power half again.
Stalemate and a stall warning against Manzella. 56 seconds left, third period. Manzella maintaining the 5-2 lead he had after the second period.
With that stall warning, Strobel able to stand up right away and get the escape. Now he needs a takedown to tie the match.
Time getting critical for Strobel. 41 seconds left.
Strobel trying to pull in that single leg, keeping Manzella on bounds.
Now they're outside the circle and resume from the standing position.
Doesn't quite have the horsepower here to take Manzella down. He's been in a couple of times. And now a stall warning against Manzella. And a penalty. It's 5-4.
12 seconds left. And that is a point for Strobel. He has tied it at 5.
Manzella's just been called for fleeing the mat. Now it's a tie match, and now Manzella in on the takedown. Strobel trying to spin behind. Looks like they're going to go to overtime.
Indeed, overtime and 171 pounds. As rallying from a 5-2 deficit, Strobel's tied it at 5. There you see, that was where he was called for fleeing the mat. And the point awarded to Strobel to tie it at 5. We're in overtime.
There it is.
Al Strobel, 27 seconds into overtime, wins 7-5. And he was down at one point, 5-0. Watch it again.
Here it is. Strobel in deep with that seat belt around the arm, lifts the leg, takes Manzella to the mat. Two crucial calls against Manzella in the final 25 seconds of the match. One for stalling, one the fleeing the mat call. That tied it up, sent it into overtime, and gave Strobel new life.
All right, let's go and take a look. At one point, Tim Deaton led 11-3 over DJ McDaniel. Deaton, right there, is at the bottom. DJ McDaniel rallied back with a takedown and near fall points to tie it at 11. But then Deaton took a 12-11 lead, and then DJ McDaniel with a takedown at the buzzer wins 13-12 in Class A at 171 pounds.
Deaton was just about around for a reversal, which would have given him the match at the buzzer, but it wasn't to be.
Mike Vakos, 40-1 from Naperville North, ranked number 4. Tony Esposito of Conan, ranked number 2, is 39-2-1. Vakos is to your right, Esposito to your left.
Been an interesting series between these two wrestlers. They met in the Conant tournament back in November, and on that occasion, Vakos just coming back from football. Of course, Esposito was too, but Esposito won 15-3 as Vakos gets the first takedown. Last week in the finals of the Downers Grove North Sectional, Vakos won by a score of 7-4. The thing to remember remember about Esposito is that he's kind of in between 171 and 189. He came down to 171 just before Christmas just to see if he liked it better there. Decided he wanted to stay at 189 because at the time he had beaten all of the top 189 pounders and beaten them badly.
Yeah, he had those big wins over Vakos and Tom Len. Had 8 takedowns and a technical fall over Doug Reiser of Providence. Esposito, last year you said was probably the best non-placer in the state when he was 40-2 at 160 pounds.
And came into the state tournament undefeated. This year he's in the finals against Vakos. Vakos is very hard to score against. He's got a very low center of gravity. And it's very difficult to control his hips.
They go to Esposito's headgear. 41 seconds to go, first period. A 2-1 lead for Vakos, who was ranked #1 in preseason, was third last year at 189 pounds with a 42-4 record.
Esposito just carried Vakos out of bounds. Vakos warned for stalling.
Vakos winning at Hinsdale Central and at Lockport.
Rennie Garcilas is the official in this match.
Time running out of the first period. A 2-1 Vakos lead with 10 seconds.
Now, will Esposito score points? He does not.
No points awarded after 1. Vakos with a 2-1 lead.
Esposito had the corner turned on that single leg shot. He grabbed the head, just ran out of time in terms of establishing control.
We're at 189 pounds in AA. Only 3 losses and a draw between these two in well over 80 bouts combined for the season. There's a caution against Vakos.
Hey, right away, right away.
Meanwhile, as this second period's taking a little time to get started, we're going to go over to Class A 189. A couple of other Chicago area wrestlers. Second-rated Ryan Scoville of Lyle and top-rated Bobby Olson of Plano. Olson undefeated, 39-0, 30 wins by pins this year. Scoville 38-5.
Olson in command right now with a 5-0 lead. Very, very tough on the top, Olson is.
1:08 left to go in their second period. Olson pinned Scoville in the Interstate 8 finals.
And Olson and Scoville, this is the 5th time they've met this year, and obviously at 39-0, Olson has won all 4.
Olson, a tremendous record the last 3 years, 102 wins, 13 losses.
The only knock against Olson, of course, is that he had never had a good state tournament until this year. He had 2 pins coming into the semifinals, or into the finals rather, and he's ahead 5-0 here and looking very strong on top as he tries for a tilt against Scoville.
19 seconds left in their second period. 5-0, no scoring taking place in the second period. Olson still with the lead. It's interesting to hear sometimes the pie play between the officials and the wrestlers, but that's part of being a good official. 6 seconds left.
Part of the responsibility of the officials, of course, is to stop injury before it happens. And I think the officials in Illinois as a group are very good at that. Better than a lot of other states.
So no scoring at all in the second period. Still a 5-0 lead for Bobby Olson over Ryan Scoville. Meanwhile, in Double-A, 20 seconds left, and it's a 3-2 lead for Esposito. He came back early in this period to tie it at 2, and has gotten another escape and has taken a 3-2 lead. 11 seconds left, and there is a warning against Esposito.
Bakos was just penalized for stalling, about 25 seconds left in the second period. That gave Esposito the 3-2 lead, and now Esposito with the stall warning against him as the second period comes to an end.
It ought to be a heck of a final period. Only 1 point separating these two fine wrestlers. Esposito leading 3-2 with 2 minutes left to go here at Double-A, 189 pounds. One weight class left after this. Those are the big ones, the heavyweights.
That's the assistant coach of Conant, Randy Conrad, who is himself a state champion for one of Chuck Farina's great East Leiden teams back in 1978.
And a escape for Bakos, and it's tied at 3.
We're basically at the point where a takedown wins it here. Esposito moving Bakos around a little bit. Well, Bakos a little bit on the defensive.
This match much tighter than Esposito's early season lopsided win over Bakos.
Now Esposito trying to finish that single leg, but you know, not being a real 189-pounder, wrestling Bakos didn't quite have the horsepower to finish it.
55 seconds remaining. Still tied at 3.
Now here's Bakos in on a single leg attempt, and he's got the takedown.
5-3 lead. 40 seconds remaining. And an escape for Esposito with his 5-4. 28 seconds left. 25 seconds left.
Esposito needs a takedown. Bakos trying to spin behind, can't quite do it.
Seconds, a stalemate, and they'll restart from a standing position. 12 seconds left, third period. 5-4 Bakos.
Time for about one more good shot here by Esposito. He really hasn't been able to set up anything.
5-4, Mike Bakos takes the state championship at 189 pounds in a thrilling match with Tony Esposito.
Well, it looked like Esposito had Bakos backing up on the run earlier there in the period, but when Bakos needed a takedown, he got it right here in deep on that high crotch. And that gave him a 5-3 lead, and that was the match.
So it matters not what happens early in the year when Esposito had the big win over Bakos. It matters what happens in late February. So 5-4 Bakos wins, and Bobby Olson, #1 rated in Class A, 189 pounds, wound up a 7-0 win over Ryan Scoville of Lisle. Now let's take a look at a little bit of the action from that match. He had a 5-0 lead after one period, added one more takedown in the third.
This was the third period. Olson started on the bottom. The reversal against Scoville, and he rode him out. A 7-0 win and an undefeated senior season in the state title.
So Bobby Olson goes to 40-0 and wins the state championship. Back with more of Sports Channel's continuing coverage of the IHSA State Wrestling Championship on Sports Channel coming up after this. Sherrill with you. We're with the heavyweights at AA. Top-rated Will Lepsy of Lyons Township against third-rated Andy Edmondson of Sterling. Two undefeated wrestlers. Lepsy 43-0, Edmondson 31-0. Lepsy rated #1 in preseason. But there's two on the takedown for Edmondson.
First takedown goes to Andy Edmondson from Sterling, who pulled an upset this afternoon in the semifinals when he beat Bob O'Connor of Richards by a score of 3-2. Edmondson was considering dropping to 189 after an outstanding football season for Sterling, but decided to go to heavyweight, and he's been spectacular.
Lepsy will be coming back here to Champaign this fall as he signed a football scholarship with the Fighting Illini. Many were looking forward to perhaps a final between Lepsy and Bob O'Connor, who was headed for Purdue and is from Oaklawn and Richards. But I tell you what, you don't want to take anything away from the year Andy Edmondson has had. He's undefeated, as I said, 3-0.
There's a fireman's carry for Lepsy, and now he's shown he's getting into this match a little bit. And now he's put him on his back.
And he'll get some more points in the near fall.
Lepsy very dangerous with that turf.
He gets 3 more points and takes a 6-2 lead on the near fall.
Where he hooks the leg and gets the arm, and now he has the firearm barred.
Seconds left in the first period. 3 more near fall points. It is 9-2 Will Lepsy.
I think that first takedown by Lepsy woke him up. And I guarantee you that Andy Edmondson has not spent any time on his back this season. He was just turned to his back 4 times by Will Lepsy in the space of less than a minute. Here's the takedown. This will be the fireman's carry by Lepsy. Now watch him. Watch him as he hooks the leg. He'll hook the leg, drag the far arm over, and there's the turf, and there's near fall points.
And after 2 periods, it's a 5-2 lead for Sondergaard of Mendota. Eric Smith has come so close
a couple times. Remember that wild match he had with Plano's Kurt Tomac last year, which ended up 13-13 after overtime, which Tomac won on criteria. Now trying to overcome a 5-2 deficit here.
A minute 40 left in the third period. A 5-2 lead still for Sondergaard. Here in the final weight class of the night. Just about 30 seconds gone now here in this third period. Class A heavyweights.
And there it is. Will Lepsy.
You just caught the technical fall. Will Lepsy, as he built an 18-2 lead, and he gets the technical fall at 4:15 of the match. And Lepsy gets his second consecutive state championship.
What a clinic Lepsy put on in mat wrestling in this match.
Lepsy 44-0, and Edmondson suffers his first loss, 31-1.
Shoots underneath. Watch it. Edmondson relaxes just a little bit, and watch Lepsy spin behind. He's got the quickness of a 160-pounder or 171-pounder wrestling heavyweight, and that's the takedown.
Very talented athletic family at Lyons Township. His sister, a former state tennis champion, and his dad, a longtime coach. Let's go over now to Class A, where 33 seconds remain in the bout between Sondergath and Smith, and Sondergath leads 7-3.
Now Sondergath lets Smith go. Just a couple of more opportunities for Smith to narrow the gap here. Sondergath leads 7-4.
Seconds remaining. Sondergath now just wanting the clock to run as quickly as it can. We're down to 8 seconds left into the tournament. And 4 seconds. And a point for Smith.
Well, now Miss Smith needs one shot. A takedown ties the match.
But he has only one shot. 4 seconds left. 2. It's over, and Sondergath hangs on to win by the score of 5-3 and take the state championship in the heavyweights for Class A. Sondergath 32-1. Smith suffers his first loss, 39-1. Again, is denied in the very last match of the season. Take a look at some earlier action from the bout between Sondergath and Smith.
Just a hip toss and trip by Sondergath. There's a takedown. That's kind of Sondergath's bread and butter move, and he used it effectively there.
We'll have more from the Assembly Hall, the 55th annual IHSA State Wrestling Finals, coming your way here on Sports Channel.